But first, Detroit's emergency dispatch system down for hours this morning, causing a backlog of hundreds of calls and putting the public's safety at risk.
The system is now back up and running, but there are still a lot of unanswered questions. 7 Action News reporter Ross Jones live outside the city's emergency communications center.
Ross, this must have made for a really couple of scary hours there.
For sure it did, Anu and Nima. Getting a response from 911 is hard enough in Detroit, but this morning for several hours, it was 911 operators who were calling for help.
Approximately 5:30, we had a technical issue with our towers. We had some hardware issues.
And those hardware issues knocked Detroit's emergency dispatch system offline for several hours this morning. The still unexplained malfunction didn't affect calls into 911, but it did force dispatchers to communicate with police, fire, and EMS with cell phones and landlines. Commander Todd Bettison did not say today how many calls to 911 were delayed because of the outage, but acknowledged that police were slower to respond.
It was a moment of time where we had to recall everybody in to brief them for educational purposes, to say, hey, this is the plan and this is what we're going to do. So it was some delayed response.
Officials were able to patch into a tower used by state police, so dispatch is now up and running again. But what caused the problem in the first place is still unknown.
We have Motorola techs on hand right now, and we're still assessing the situation, investigating as to what's going on.
So right now, the latest from DPD, more than 60 priority 1 calls are backed up. Those are the most serious calls that DPD responds to. They say part of the reason for that backlog is that they were sending 2 officers rather than just 1 to each of those calls for concerns over officer safety. More than 170 non-emergency calls backed up. So more than 250 emergency calls to DPD backed up right now, and the reason still not clear. We are live on Detroit's west side. I'm Ross Jones, 7 Action News.